Your Denver Broncos just keep stacking win after win and make an absolutely brilliant move here. Just when we thought that the offseason couldn't get better than finding 3 Pro Bowlers in free agency with Hufanga, Dre Greenlaw, and Evan Ingram, they go and outdo themselves, getting Cortland Sutton to do a hometown discount and then getting an absolute steal for who I think is the best interior defensive lineman in football, and I have the stats to prove that that is the case. We re-signed Zack Allen, and it's a better deal than you even think. We're breaking that down and way more, what it says about the Broncos culture, way more in this video. If you're new to the channel, I'm a diehard Denver Broncos fan, typically recording in my man cave, but we are on site here. We are going to Denver Broncos training camp with my wife and son. If you like the Broncos, it helps me in the algorithm out a ton if you would like and subscribe. So we know Zack Allen is like the culture setter of this defense, that he has the highest motor you've ever seen. He plays through injuries. This dude is as tough as they come. They called him baby J.J. Watt when he played for the Arizona Cardinals, but he's not a baby anymore. Absolutely love this advanced analytic that Chase Daniels came out and throw. This is a dude who knows ball, who had to play the quarterback position and knows that that interior rush that a quarterback has is the toughest to do. There's no escaping it. We know that, like, if you have a really good edge rusher, you can scheme against that. The quarterback can roll the other way. When we play Micah Parsons and the Dallas Cowboys, we know Bo Nix is just going to roll wherever he is. He's going to go elsewhere. You cannot avoid an interior pass rusher. And Chase Daniels points out this insane stat that last year we have Zack Allen, who is now the best defensive lineman in football, hit the quarterback 40 times last year, and the last time you had an interior defensive lineman do that, you were talking Aaron Donald at his peak in 2018. The Broncos have the most underrated superstar, and they now have him locked up here, which is an absolute phenomenal thing. Looking here, he had 50 pass rush wins last season, so you can't stop him when you're trying to pass block, and you definitely can't stop him when you're trying to run block. Knowing that the Chargers and the Raiders are going to be trying to run the rock, I feel fantastic having Zack Allen locked down here for the next 4 seasons. Absolute phenomenal deal, and he's insanely versatile. We're going to take a look at some clips here to show you what he can do. You can line him up anywhere on that defensive line, and Mike Sanford points that out, that he played the 3 technique, he played shade, he played 4 technique. He can do all of it just in one single season, that he's the most versatile defensive lineman in the entire game of football. Absolutely fantastic. So just seeing when the lights are the brightest is when, like, he actually does the best. Just seeing him win here from the interior against Josh Allen, had absolutely no shot there. Seeing that exact same pressure set when the game mattered most. Here's the game. Here's him winning against a very meaningful game that we're going for the playoffs here, and just winning on the inside, not giving up, and chasing down Joe Burrow and getting him. This guy is as versatile as they come, and everyone in Denver is absolutely hyped at the deal that we were able to get him with. I think the big meta narrative of this entire thing is that the Broncos had 4 guys who were on the last year of their contract, and you saw no holdouts, you saw no complaints, you saw no one throwing our GMs under the bus, and everybody at practice and like a willing participant. And that is just in diametric opposition, obviously, to what you're seeing right now in Dallas with obviously Micah Parsons asking for a trade, him getting in a public spat with the ownership group. And the fact that the Broncos were able to just move in silence like the G in lasagna here and get this mega deal done for Zack Allen, I think is absolutely phenomenal. And Troy Rank points that same thing out, that in 1 week we just give out all of this money with no drama whatsoever, no holdouts. Just, I think that speaks volumes to what this team is. And then here, seeing that last year he is now the 3rd highest paid. And the fact that he is still behind Chris Jones. He played better than Chris Jones last year, and Chris Jones is playing on a deal from 2 seasons ago. And we've seen how the numbers that players are making each year is just shooting to the moon. The inflation of the value is wild. So to have him paid under a deal that happened 2 seasons ago is wild. And I think what we're going to see, like Sarah Bettinger points out, that this time next year, this deal is going to look as good as the Quinn Meinerz deal. This deal is going to look as good as the Pat Surtain deal. This is what happens when you are preemptive. You know the guys who warrant that deal, those guys who are team first guys, and you get them locked down. I think that is an absolute phenomenal point in this entire thing. Last night had an opportunity to take my son to DNVR. They did this amazing thing with Benny Fowler, a live look at film. You have a former Rose Bowl champion, a former Super Bowl champion, and for free you got to go in and just watch him break down film and tell you what he's seeing through the eyes of a Super Bowl receiver. It was incredible. And the thing that stood out to me and to my son and to my dad who went with us was how many times a wide receiver runs a route where they know they have no chance of getting the ball, and their job is to clear out space and run faster than they may even run when they are the primary target, to clear out space for someone else. And it just shows that culture trumps talent all day, and we have high culture guys that we keep giving the bag to, and that is how you build a championship level team. And we're seeing that echoed here with this Zack Allen deal, where I think Nick Bonito was the first one to go out and celebrate that. We're seeing Jonathan Cooper, Nick Bonito celebrating the deal that just happened for Courtland Sutton, that they are congratulating each other, because we know culture eats talent and eats strategy for breakfast. We have a high culture, high talent roster here. Yes, no mudslinging, no back and forth, 100% class. This team is all bought in. They know the goal for this season isn't just to sniff the playoffs. They know the goal isn't to have a road wild card playoff game. This team is playing for a deep playoff run in January, and now they have truly 5 moves this offseason that the first thing I woke up to when I got the news was actually Graphic Raider texting me, absolute great deal. The Broncos have had a killer offseason to get Evan Ingram, Talanoa Hufanga, Dre Greenlaw, Courtland Sutton, and Zack Allen. This offseason really could not have gone any better for the Broncos, and it's an absolute fantastic thing. And just looking that this isn't just like a one-off great offseason, that this all started when George Paton and Sean Payton joined forces. And now we're looking, how good do the Pat Surtain and Quinn Meinerz deals look? That the best player in all of football is now our second highest paid player on the team. And we have been preemptive with these contracts ahead of time. And it's just an absolute phenomenal thing that we have a young and hungry team. Also loving the fact that when I got a chance to talk to Brandon Perna 2 weeks ago, and we had 4 guys without deals, and it felt like it was getting real close to the time that we needed to make a deal. And I asked Perna, like, hey, what would you do if you were George Paton? What would your order be? His exact order was Courtland Sutton, Zack Allen, get them done. And so now we are waiting here for, is there a Nick Bonito deal coming? That would be my hope, is that we get a Nick Bonito deal. But I think this is just absolutely phenomenal. Other good news that we get today is that the dysfunction happening with the Chargers, who I think is going to be a team that we're going to be competing for the division for. Not only did they have all the fireworks incident with Najee Harris and not look that great in the preseason, but now we're also hearing that their starting linebacker is currently in prison because of having some illegal weapons allegedly. And obviously you don't hope this for anyone. Like, I want to be playing the Chargers at full strength, but definitely a suspension probably looming. But even more so, this is just indicative of the fact that the Broncos culture and the fact that we have a bunch of team first guys who are checking themselves in the offseason, that we had zero drama this entire offseason while other players are in jail and dropping rap albums. The Broncos team is all about ball, and it is a fantastic, fantastic thing. We have a scrimmage happening today for the Broncos, which I will break down in tomorrow's video, but this is amazing. So good to be home. Broncos country, we have so much to believe in.